MC Spyda, the Black Tarantula. Yeah, that's me, from Nuts, you know, from Robin Hood Country with the Nosky on Pump Me, yeah? Wow. Um, I started I started in the 80s, I believe. That's when I first started. I started MCing around in the 80s, and I was listening to a lot of reggae music. That's what I was listening to, like back then dancehall, you could call it. Yeah, that was me. My earliest rave memories. Telford Ice Cream. Yeah, Telford Ice Cream. There was a big rave there. They had a robot. That there was so many different things going on. There was, I don't know, a group of friends, I believe, who had decided to go to Telford Ice Cream for some big do. I didn't know what it was. Knew it was a rave, but I didn't know what to expect, and ended up getting in for nothing. And yeah, Bassman I think was on the mic, Long John and Lenny, and it was just the best, one of the best nights ever. Like for a raver, as a raver back then, yeah, it was it was just amazing. I think from there, I kind of got the book. I wanted to do what I seen Bassman doing, but I was already chatting, but I just wasn't into MCing to rave music at the time. Wow. Well, the tempo's changed for one. That's a that's a big difference because when I first started MCing, the music was pretty much, I don't know, it's about 160. I think sometimes even 140. It was really slow, and now you can anything from 174, 75, go right up to 180 BPM. So the music, and with that, my styles changed. Like I got faster as the the tempo's increased. Not as a thing where I was trying to catch up with the music or something like that. It was like I was already working on bashment tempo, which is 90. I think it's 90 BPM. So with the drum and bass or the older school, like we could say, like old school jungle was like much slower, and so over time the tempo has changed and the music's changed the way which it is. So you can adapt to it differently. You can MC on it for me differently. Well, I think I could easily say, well, I like now better, but what I tend to believe, or the way in which I feel about it, is that back then it was a whole different vibe. I was living in a different time, you know what I mean? And the style was different, the people were different, and now we've got a different set of ravers. I mean, even some of the old school ravers are still there, but the whole scene's changed. So it's like those times were great, and it's still great now. But the difference is it's a much younger crowd, I could say. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. One of the great milestones was performing at the Nottingham Trent Ice Arena. I think it is. It's a new arena we got in Nottingham. It's just the ice ring, Nottingham Ice Ring, but I think they call it the Trent Arena or something like that now. And it was like I got to perform Tarantula there. It was great. Just having a big massive crowd. I had earplugs in, which was a bit sad because I couldn't really exactly hear them full on, but yeah, it was a great experience. And yeah, I think that topped it for as a performer. Like for being in the rave scene for the amount of time I've been in there and performing. I think that's one of a great moment. Although it's more of a performance as saying like as an artist. I'm not saying MC and an artist is two different things, but as an artist, that is one of the big accolades. And for MCing, wow, that's tight. That's tough. Let me think of that one. The funniest thing, oh, I don't know. it's funny. The funny moments are like with working with Bassman. He's just a joker. It's like he's passed me the mic and said something so crazy then, and looked at me and started laughing, and then I've had to go and MC after him, and the lyrics actually dropped out of my mouth and I can't really perform well. But those are some of the moments for me. I don't know, in the audience or seeing something go down. No, I don't really. But those are some of the funny moments. Trying to keep your composure while working with Bassman and he's telling his jokes. It's crazy. But Basslayerz is a team of artists like myself, Slips and Bomber. And I think, we've all got history. We all go back, like, I don't know, can't remember exactly when we all started, but we've all been working together, even if you haven't seen them with me at the raves or so, they've been behind the scenes doing their own thing or coming to me collectively into a rave. But the whole Basslayerz thing started with, I think it's Slips's little idea, and he was doing that by himself. You know, he was producing with a producer called Daps prior to this, and I think he just wanted to do a bassline mix or some sort, or that's a mixture of all different types of music that he liked. And Bomber was on the mic. I'm not sure of the original concept, if it was just him DJing and just a mix, but I think Bomber was on, I think it was the Volume 1, Basslayerz Volume 1, and that's how they was going to do it. So if my memory serves me correct. So basically we went out one night and they were playing drum and bass, and I think it was in one club in Birmingham, I can't remember the name of it, but as Bomber and Slips was working anyway. And Slips was really good, and I was like, he got some skills, you know what I mean? And he was supposed to be playing the bassline stuff originally from, like I said, Basslayerz Volume 1, but he started to play his jump up, and it's like, I knew about jump up, I've heard about it, or this new style of drum and bass, and yeah, he played really well. So after the dance, or the next day, I asked him if I could join. I wanted to be part of this Basslayerz because I like the vibe. And then from there, I've just been working with them, and we've been sharing ideas, and as a collective, and we've been putting on nights. And it's just been going from strength to strength, like, you know, what you up to? You up to much? that's us as a collective, so you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I think one of the things is, I'm not looking at, well, for me personally, I'm not looking at anybody else. What it is that I'm doing with Basslayerz is I like the vibes. You know, it kind of took me back, like, you know, you asked me previously about what do I like about the old school and what I like about the new vibe, the new sound. Well, it's the same thing. I like the vibe then and I like the vibes now. I like the vibes even more so because it's more in tune to what I used to do as a dancehall artist, you know. So that with Basslayerz, it's kind of like I'm in a bashment dance. I'm like doing the dancehall thing, but it's just on drum and bass. So that's what I liked about the vibes, like the way Slips plays, the way Bomber MCs. It's totally different from how I MC. So the collaboration is like, you know, if you could say yin or the yang, you know what I mean? That's what I like about it. And to the table, we're bringing I think it's just vibes. You know, a lot of the MCs today, you know, they've got their own hooks. They've got their different styles. There's many different MCs, but in Nottingham, it's like there's not many. So it wasn't really about who's doing what or what we bring to the table. It was just like I'm doing me, and I suppose if you ask Bomber and Slips, they'd say they're doing them. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But if you wanted to put something on it, like a name on it, and say what do we bring, I'll say well, we'll bring vibes, like it's a dancehall team. You know what I mean? A bit of rag and a bit of the English. You know what I'm saying? I think the collaborations, you know, it's only been a few years, so I think it's in its early stages. But even though we're seasoned artists, I think the future's was getting better at what we're doing, like writing bars or writing songs, making music, laying the bass, you know, and bringing it to the massive, you know, who enjoy that. You know, drum and bass is a massive thing, you know, and like I've been in the game for a long time, and I've seen and heard the music evolve, and the ravers evolve into the new generation of raver, and they still like what I do. So, you know, I'm gonna carry on enjoying it. You know, so that's what Basslayerz is doing. Is just we're enjoying every moment of making our music and being creative and serving the public. There's a big scene in Nottingham. There's like quite a few promoters that put on regular events, festivals and so. So, you know, the scene's really healthy, I believe. It's just that the more of the underground sound is like it's trying to find a home, and there's not many that clubs that, you know, they're not really inclined to having that kind of music at the moment. I think, you know, it's a bit tricky in Nottingham because, you know, they either like you or they don't. I'm not saying they don't like Basslayerz, but, you know, our promotions, we've done the city centre, but that's what it is. It's clubs, you know. So there is I think there is an audience, there is a crowd, there is a scene, but it's very small in the sense of where, depending where you hold it. And if you hold it in the town centre, obviously you're going to get the students, because Nottingham is built around students and your locals. So hopefully I'm doing this correctly. Is that I think if we had more access to the clubs in more of the city centre, the scene would evolve much quicker. My lyric writing process. Well, I like things to get, there's a word, organic, everybody talks about nowadays. So I like my thing to be like just natural, you know. So I don't know, maybe I'm sitting down and I don't know, I could be doing anything. I could be cooking, I could be washing, I could be just chilling out, you know, chilling with the family, whatever, and something pops up. So what I usually do is I'll show you, I'll demonstrate. I'll grab my iPhone, I'll open it up, and I'll put on a recorder. Hold on. I'll put the recorder on, and what I'll do is I'll say whatever lyrics has come to mind, and then what I'll do is go back to it later, and then I'll write it. And once I've written it, I'll tighten it up. I call it tightening, and then depending on how it is, I'll bend it. Sometimes to music, sometimes not. Or, well, most of the time it's without music. But then there's another time where I feel like, or I'm just listening to something and I'll hear a tune and I'm like, right. And all of a sudden I'll start hearing something and it'll fit like a glove, and I'll just like, yeah, right, get my phone out and do the same thing. But I'll write them. I don't really write straight. I like to sing it or chat it in how it is supposed to be and quickly record it so I keep the style or the flow, and then I'll write the lyrics. Yeah, that's me.
Don't play with my style, I might sting ya. You want me in check me bacteria. Make your body go stiff and your spine going numb.